Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined today with Joachim Simeu. Joachim Simeu is a well-known political analyst, and is also the Secretary General of Safina Party. That also we are going to talk about the status of the political parties in Kenya. So, my brother, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Very well. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you so much. Umejua wewe saizi umekuwa unatafutwa kama pesa.
Shughuli ni mingi ndugu yangu. Yes.
Okay, asante sana. Mi nimeshukuru kwa wewe kupata nafasi ili kuja tuzungumze na wewe hapa, kwa sababu katika jukwaa la siasa zetu za Kenya kuna mengi ambao kinaendelea. Labda utatusaidia pia wewe tusikie maoni yako, na pia tujue ni jambo lipi labda tunaweza fanya, ama ni fikra gani tunaweza fanya ili tukue na nchi nzuri. Kwanza kabisa, okay, thank you so much, my brother. First of all, I want to thank you, as I said earlier, for taking your time to be here with us. I know you have a very busy schedule, but as a channel and all our crew members and team, we really, really appreciate you for taking your time to be here. And we need to have a conversation about a few things here. One of the things would be the status of the political parties. Being a young person who is in one of the political parties that are having vision of leading this country at some point or coming 2027, we want you to at least give us explanation on what are your preparation towards 2027. That is what is your take in the political space right now. We also have something that is also going on, especially with ODM, and it's like a case study for political parties of what happened. You know, we lost the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, but ever since we've lost him, we've seen quite a number of activities taking place in ODM. The latest one being live members are petitioning the election board of ODM that they have to look at the due process of electing their leaders, especially party leader. So that is something that is there, where they've given an ultimatum of 30 days. So that one brings us back to the political parties. How independent or how is the democracy in these political parties? Maybe your first remark.
Thank you very much. From what's happening in ODM is actually an indicator of the influence the departed party leader had.
Yeah.
If we lost Raila Odinga and life continues as if nothing happened, then that will be bad. And so what's happening in ODM right now is actually a show and a clear showcase of the influence and the unifying factor that Raila was in his party. But now I knew that such cases will come up because to me, it didn't sit well to have Oburu Odinga as the party leader. And the life members that have come to court, they are only going to court to establish what does the constitution of ODM party say in respect to assuming of office of national leaders.
Yeah.
And as I remember the speech made by Right Honorable Raila Odinga in Kakamega, he said that there will be an NDC in Mombasa during the ODM at 20 celebrations. And when it was happening in his absence, the person that stuck to that script is his daughter, Winnie, who said that we need a national delegates convention to actually elect national leaders. But it seems Oburu is reading from a different script. He wants waongee kinyumbani. I don't know if the constitution of ODM supports kuongea kinyumbani. I don't know. But again, you need to understand why the regime of the day is comfortable with Oburu being party leader. But Oburu has no history of defiance in his life. Oburu is not a pusher. He is a conformist.
Yeah.
Oburu likes stability and status quo. So he will not be a problem leading ODM. When you get a defiant person to lead ODM, it might give the ruling party UDA problems. But now you need someone you can easily manage. That's why it's very important for the regime of the day for Oburu to be the party leader of ODM. This is almost the same script as to what happened in 2003 when the late Michael Kijana Malwa died. We had energetic, vibrant leaders from Western who qualified to replace him. At that time, we had Moskari Kombo. He was very vibrant. We had Dr. Mohiza Kitui and so many other people. But the government chose Moody Awori, a quiet man who will not be a problem to their succession and the power matrix. It's the same with Oburu Odinga. He is the best bet for the regime of the day. And I actually want to believe that the person who can do everything in their power to make sure that Oburu Odinga remains the party leader of ODM is President William Ruto. And so I did not expect any other person to be supported by the regime. As for the democracy of the parties, in this case, as we speak about ODM, you know, for the first time in 20 years, ODM is found itself in very unfamiliar territories, where in case of conflict among the party members, there is no voice that is calming that can compel them to come together and work together. It is actually like a home where parents, a matriarch or a patriarch has left. And you start seeing brothers and sisters who you thought love each other fighting. Those are the things that will emanate from the ODM party. So Kenyan people should brace themselves for more sins from the ODM party. And these other people who are not willing, it's actually the battle of the titans. The young ones in the party feel like the older generation is not being fair to them. That's what we are witnessing.
Now, my brother, if you look at keenly of what is happening in ODM, what can really convince us that this other political party, including the one that now you are Secretary General, this issue cannot face you because of what we know about the political parties in our country, whereby there must be some personification. There must be somebody who is behind that political party. What can we learn, and what can also take us our thought away from all this political, but that something like that cannot happen?
You know, the nature of political parties.
Yeah.
Political parties are run by people from different areas with different interests. And so what we can do in my party, for example, is to make sure that our competing interests should not inconvenience the objective of the party.
Yeah.
Actually, parties should define what do they stand for. Once a party defines what they stand for, then every person in that party is rallied towards that goal. Without a clear definition of what you stand for as a party, then cases of squabbles will emerge because everyone stands for their own things. For instance, in our party, it's clear that we stand for economic liberation of the country. And therefore, the actions of every member of the party should be geared towards that kind of agenda. So that, and also, when cases of conflicts emerge, we have mechanisms in the party of resolution that in case party member A has a problem with how things are running, we have a resolution committee, conflict resolution committee within the party, so that in case of anything that arises, we are able to deal with it. And also the thing that we are trying so much to avoid is patronage in the party. That you create someone so huge in the party who calls the shots, so that in his absence or in her absence, the people scamper without direction. In our party, we are trying so much to be clear on first the agenda, conflict resolution mechanisms within the party, and rally around that to make sure that any eventualities can be managed.
Okay, thank you so much. And just still coming back to these political parties, our political parties that we have, we know they are guided by constitution of the party, and the parties themselves also tend to say or believe in constitutionalism. But in the process whereby sometimes when there is an issue, we tend to ignore about the due process of what should be done in the event of any eventuality. Then we tend to say, okay, that's okay. How do we deal with that? And how does that one reflect on the leadership and leadership of the nation if we cannot follow the constitution of the party? And can we do the one for the nation, for the country, I mean?
Sometimes out of political expedience, the people sometimes tend to bend the laws of the party. And such people can also go to an extent of bending the laws of the country. For the 30 years of the existence of Safina, I do not think there is a place there where we have had conflict and bend the constitution of the party. In the formation, the problem comes in where formation of the constitution is made by a few people in the party, and the rest of the team are not informed of what is happening. So when an issue comes up, everyone has their own idea of how to solve that problem. And so you see someone coming up with an issue that, let us look at the constitution. The constitution of the party should be made available to every member to know what is supposed to happen, where and how. So if you have a small clique of people that are the only ones aware of what the constitution holds, then that is a recipe for chaos. That's why, as Secretary General at Safina, I make sure that every member of the party has the constitution of the party at their disposal, so that they can acquaint themselves of the contents of the constitution.
Okay, that's okay. And you know, when you look at all our these political parties and with the constitution, there's also something that also as a Safina party, I want you to also to, I don't know whether it is the same in your party, especially where the party leader will always be the automatic presidential candidate. We've always seen that those who are the leaders of the party, when it comes to a presidential election or who will be vying, they automatically get that endorsement. I don't know whether that one is also with the Safina party. And do you think it is that time in the history that we should open it up for any member of the party to vie, and if they can win through delegates, then so be it, rather than making it automatic that the party leader will always be the presidential candidate?
As it stands today, according to the constitution of Safina Party, our presidential candidate is the party leader. But we have provisions where, in case there are other people within the party interested in being presidential candidates, then we subject them to a national delegates conference. And again, if the party leader is not willing to run, then the deputy party leader is the automatic one. If there are no, if there is no other person interested in the seat, then the deputy party leader takes over. In case now the deputy party leader and the party leader are not interested, that is again, we go back to the National Delegates Conference to elect our candidate.
Okay.
In terms of opening up, that's a conversation that we will have as political parties, because I'm also a member of the political parties liaison committee, and we will come up with discussions on how to now open up political parties for other members within the party to qualify as presidential candidates.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother. So let's jump ship a bit and talk about the voter registration that was going on. And as per the information that we had a few weeks ago, if I'm not wrong, the registration turnout, especially for voters, was quite much low. We were seeing, they said it was about 90,000 then that had already voted as Safina Party. Is this one is worrying you as a party, or it's just okay because like we are headed to the election? And if it's so, how have you as a party taken it as a party to find it that so many people register, those who are allied to you or those who are subscribing to your ideology?
Meanwhile, at the beginning of this exercise, most of the political parties have been preoccupied by the by-elections that are coming up.
Yeah.
So all their resources and time is being spent on the by-elections. That's why most of the political parties have not really paid attention to the registration of voters, an exercise that is ongoing right now. But I can confidently say, especially for our party of Safina, that after the by-elections, which is on 27th this month, we shall embark on a full-blown voter registration sensitization across the country to make sure that Kenyans register as voters so that they participate in the liberation of this country in 2027. And also the behavior around how registration is being taken is typically Kenyan. Kenyans are not people who do things when they have time to spare. Kenyans are people of last minute. And I can assure you that you will see how lines will be long when they realize that days are numbered. Yes, you will see, especially the last day, the government will have no option but to extend it for another 1 or 2 days. It's typically a Kenyan behavior. But we, as a political party, we will go around the country sensitizing people to register as voters, because we believe that the new voters will have a very big say on how we are going to engage as a country after the 2027 polls.
All right. Thank you so much, Simil. So if anyone on the comment section have a question, you can write it so that the SG can answer any question that you want. You can write it on the comment section so that we can give him so he can answer. He can give you a definite answer from him. So, my brother, let's come to the governance. And 2 days ago, there was the news that government websites were hacked. Later, we saw the CS for ICT said that the services were restored, and the hackers who did that, the law will follow up, and the law will be taken to them, and they will answer some questions. And if you look at the websites that were hacked, these are very, very crucial government websites. What does that one mean? How safe are we with the data for every Kenyan?
You see, governments comprises of people who are very brilliant.
Yeah.
And when you look at the hacking of these websites, look at the timing.
Mm-hmm.
It has just happened when Kenyans are discussing the validity of the Cyber Crimes and Computer Misuse Act.
Mm-hmm.
So in my own thinking, I think the government needed something to justify that bill.
Mm.
And it is not difficult for a government to engineer such an act so that it gets something to do or to say and validate and come and tell us that, you see, we have organized cybercrime units that are attempting to attack our country. We therefore need a law that will take care of them. I can tell you for sure, out of the timing of what I am seeing, that hacking is a self-inflicted injury by government for validity of what they are doing.
Okay, somebody is asking, do you have any presidential candidates in any of this by-election? I mean, candidates, not presidential, but candidates in this by-election.
We have 3 candidates so far. We have Lawrence Ireri, Member of Parliament, a candidate in Mbeere North.
Yeah.
We have Dangote, who is called Lawrence Ochieng in Kariobangi North. And we have a candidate is called Kizito Okuparu in Narok Town.
Yeah.
Brother,
will Safina sponsor presidential candidate individually in 2027 elections?
That question has come up several times by so many people. People are wondering if we are going to get into an election individually as a party. There will come a time where there will be conversations around coalitions. And what we keep on saying as a party is that coalitions will be made around an agenda. That what are we for as a coalition? What are we aiming to do, or what service do we intend to provide for the Kenyan people in that coalition, be it that we get the chance to lead this country? I do not think it's appropriate for us to talk about uniting when we are not clear of what we are going to do in that unity. It has to be clear purpose.
Talking about clear purpose, because on several occasions we've had the president actually talking about the opposition or united oppositions, that they do not have any agenda for this country because, first of all, they don't know anything to do with the roads. They don't know anything to do with steamer. They don't know everything to do with water and all that. Like the opposition, all of you combined, you do not have any agenda for this country.
First of all, the president's job is not to check whether the opposition has an agenda or not. His job as the president is to deliver the agenda he had for the people and not to be the prefect of the opposition. Secondly, the agenda of other parties in the opposition, I will not speak about it, but I'll speak about the agenda of Safina Party. We have on uncountable times spoke about the fifth agenda. The fifth agenda is a 5-pillar agenda.
Yeah.
The first agenda, the first pillar is we will not pay the illegal national debt. The second pillar is that Safina government will provide free primary and secondary education. The third pillar is that the Safina government will provide free health care to all Kenyans. The fourth pillar is that the Safina government will not borrow money in the local market of the country. And then the fifth one is that we shall reduce the value-added tax from 16% to 5%.
Okay. Let me just ask you: when you reduce value-added tax from 16% to 5%, how then? Where are you going to get other revenue to run the government?
We have already done calculation as a party that the government raises approximately 400 billion out of value-added tax.
Yeah.
When we reduce the value-added tax from 16% to 5%, the revenue will drop to 100 billion.
Yeah.
But the effect of the reduction of the VAT on the economy will be so big. You know, as we speak right now, 52% of fuel price is taxes, 16% being VAT. So when you reduce VAT from 16% to 5%, the effect on it alone, on the price of fuel, will be phenomenal. And on electricity, remember that production and transportation is factored by energy. So when you reduce the cost of energy, the cost of production automatically comes down. And there will be enterprises coming up for that. And you see, when you reduce such taxes, even the returns from the businesses will be higher. Deductions from salaries will be lower. So we shall have casted a bigger net. We will have put so many people within the tax bracket.
Yeah.
And in an estimated period of 7 months, we will come back to collecting 400 billion with 5%. So when we continue like that, in 2 years, we shall be able to collect even double of that. So it will come down the first 3 months, but it will grow as time goes.
Okay, maybe just you can answer this. Then there's a question that I need to ask you, especially on production. At Brother Ben, if Safina wins and forms government, will they continue with the housing projects, or if not, will they do with already what will they do with the already completed one?
You see, you need to know how housing is being carried out.
Yep.
That the government is using public resources to build house on public land, and they are coming back to sell the houses to the public at an at a rate that is almost same as the prevailing market rates.
Yeah.
So as Safina government, what we will do to the affordable housing that are already complete is that we shall have, we will provide those houses to the vulnerable people, to the civil servants, and because we shall provide favorable conditions for people to develop themselves, I do not think people we will continue with building affordable houses, because we want to put money in the pockets of the people so that you decide for yourself where you want to stay and what kind of house you want to build.
Okay.
It is not the business of government to build houses for their people, but to empower their people to build houses for themselves.
Okay. Now, maybe because this has come, and also you can also help us in case, on top of what he has asked, just in case if you win, because there are people who are being deducted going towards the house levy. At the same time, they might be having that purchasing power to buy the house. So if you look at it, they've done like double payment. In case somebody goes to court and the court maybe says that you have to compensate everybody back what they've been contributing, will you be in a position to, or maybe that one is something will happen when you are there?
With Safina government in place, compensation of the people who have been deducted their housing levy will have no problem. We will compensate them. We will, if that is the ruling of the court when we are in power.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm asking you this, Bwana SG, is because sometimes it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't make sense in this way. You are being deducted money to go towards housing, so that deduction alone qualifies you to get that money in the way I'm thinking, because it's your money.
Yeah, it qualifies you to get that house.
It qualifies you. You are now the original owner because you're contributing towards that money. Then again, what comes that now, the same time you who is contributing, you can still buy that house, which you're contributing at a market value. So which means in accounts, the way I understand, you are doing double payment for the same property. So which means if the house, maybe you've contributed 1.5 million and you're buying it again at 1.5, so which means in the essence, you buy that house, you've bought it at 3 million, one house.
Yes.
So that's why I was asking you, in the event it happens, how are you going to deal with those questions?
The money contributed by Kenyans towards that house, if as Joachim, I have contributed to a total amount of 200,000, and the government has said that those people needs to be compensated, Safina government will compensate them.
Okay. You talk something about, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You can just go ahead.
No, this is another different question. Just complete the housing so we can go to another one.
A Kenyan could be wondering out there, where is the Safina government going to raise money from to compensate all these people for the money that they have been contributing. I want to tell the Kenyan people that by our refusal to pay illegal debt, in every financial year, we will be saving to a total of 2 trillion shillings.
Yeah.
Because it's almost that amount of money that we are using every financial year to pay for debts that are illegal. So if a government has saved 2 trillion, I do not think it can have a problem of compensating Kenyans that have been robbed of their hard-earned cash.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Now, let's come to production and the taxes that you spoke about. Because when you look at our country right now, even though the president is saying that there has been an increase in terms of production of maize. The other time when he was at Al Jazeera, he was saying that there's a almost 50% increase in terms of production, where 44 million bags were produced last year. And this year, we are going to see a production of around 70 million of bags being produced. So that one talking about production. But you know, if you have good production, which means the cost of living will go down due to the fact that there's a lot of produce coming from agriculture. But as we look at it, it means even the basic commodities are being imported in the country, majority of the basic commodity. If you reduce the taxes, how are you going to make sure that the production is going to be high?
Optimal.
Yeah, optimal. How are you going to make sure that that is going to happen?
Ben, the biggest factor in production is energy. Energy is electricity and fuel. When you reduce the value added tax,
Yeah.
VAT, even farm produce prices will come down. The cost of transportation will come down. If you do irrigation by the cost of irrigation, if you use an electric pump to do irrigation in your farm, if you use a generator to do irrigation, the price of fuel on the generator and the price of electricity will come down. And therefore, it has a knockoff effect at the end of the day that the cost of production reduces.
Okay.
When cost of production reduces, farmers make profit. When farmers make big profit, it means that even after spending on their basic needs, they will still have something we call disposable income in their pockets. And when people have disposable income in their pockets, they spend around the country, which spurs the economic growth. Because the person selling a jacket by the roadside will get a customer. The one selling tea in her restaurant will get a customer, because people have disposable income in their pockets. Right now, the cost of production is so high. Transportation alone is very high because fuel consumption is also high and the prices are high. Preservation of the farm produce. How do you purchase them? It is very high. But the reduction of taxes will have a trickle-down effect on every cost of everything down to the last consumer.
So, but do you have maybe any plans whereby you can create what we call the tax break, especially for investors who are coming, so that we avoid this issue of bureaucracy? You know, like you find investors have come in the country, but the taxes that they want to pay the government is quite much high, in a way that for them to start realizing or payback period on their investment would take long. Especially you, what about how are you going to deal with the investors in terms of taxes?
You see, what is scaring investors from coming into the country is that before they even start paying taxes, there is a lot they spend on within the corridors, the conmanship, the brokerage, that before you even set up any industry in this country, you have to see Minister so-and-so, you have to talk to the PA of the president, and ultimately you have to meet the president himself so that he give you a go ahead. So you find that if you meet Minister so and so, he asks for something small. You go meet the PA of the president. He asks for something small. Then ultimately you meet the president. You also need to grease his hands. So before you even start building that industry, you have spent half of the money you needed to build it. So that has been our biggest problem. But with the Safina government, that will be done away with. It will be on a competitive bidding process. That you are an investor, you want to put up a certain project, you have to compete with other bidders so that we establish who is the most qualified contractor to do this particular project. Before we even talk about tax breaks and all that. You see, if the process is seamless, that you only or based on merit, I don't think if investors will have any problem.
Okay, you talked about pillars. One of your pillars is about health, especially when you're talking about accessible, affordable healthcare in the country, whereby the share that we have right now, it seems to be having some glitches and some questions that people are asking. If you look at the entire health sector, it is quite much complicated than what we think, because it is not only by going to the hospital, it also includes provision of medication, which sometimes majority of Kenyans do not get medication that they want within those facilities, because we have people who have been in the hospital. We will be told, pay such a money, this is going to be, we are going to get this medication from outside the hospital. So with all the challenges in the health sector, you as a party, because you have a pillar working on that, maybe in an overview, what are some of the measures that you can put in place so that Kenyans can afford accessible, affordable healthcare, and also medication that they require, and the welfare of the doctors too? Those are three pillars. How are you going to deal with it?
You see, Ben, in our calculation of how much health care needs per year in this country, it is estimated to be around 215 billion in 1 year. That is enough to bring in equipments. It's enough to buy drugs, and it's enough to provide even the most complex treatments that any Kenyan patient will need. When we say that we are going to provide free health care, it means that SHA and SHIF will have a natural death immediately Safina government comes into place. That what you will need as a Kenyan to be treated is to show up at the hospital with an ID card alone. And you will even get a surgery and go home for free and come back for medication, and it will be provided free of charge. The only thing that is making this difficult is that every project that is being made by the current government, but if there is good intent and political goodwill to provide these social protection programs, it can be done. And all the things that you have listed, that are in our calculation of the cost of healthcare in the country today. That is a basic need that needs to be provided for in the country. It is even a constitutional right that Kenyans have a right to good health and access to good health care.
Okay, I have two issues now. Maybe before we wind up, I also want you to...
So that is going to be provided for when Safina government comes into place.
Okay, there's also this issue of employment among the young people. And the other day I was listening to the president, and he gave the overview of places that he has put in place, or a mistake that he has taken. He talked about of ICT hubs. He talked about the housing. He also talks about the export of labor. And if you look at that export of labor, there was an article that was carried in the Standard today that was pulled from New York Times. And the agency that are involved, especially in making sure that the recruits or the people who are going outside the country to get, there's an agency that earns a lot of money out of it. You, as a Safina party, maybe do you have measures in place such that if Kenyans will be going to get jobs outside, they get it in a very clear way without involving, especially like people benefiting from the plight of Kenyans who are just trying to get employment outside the country?
You see, our government talks about G2G programs only when they are procuring fuel, G2G programs when they are procuring grains, but they don't talk about the G2G programs when they are exchanging cheap labor from this country to other countries. That's where all these agencies come in from. You see, you remember that saga in Eldoret?
Yes.
The Finland saga. The lady in question was captured as untouchable. As untouchable because she had protection. And according to the article that has been captured in Standard, you can see who was the protection of that lady that was implicated in that saga of Finland. So people are taking advantage, and I have said this elsewhere, that the poverty of the Kenyan people has ceased from being a crisis. It has become a currency for some people to enrich themselves with. So as Safina party, we will make sure that if there will be any program where a Kenyan needs to get out of the country and work in another country, then governments are the ones that will make those arrangements, not private sector. Because that at that point, it is your security on the line. And it's always the government's job to make sure that their citizens have security inside and outside their country. So, imaneno ya agency, these buildings in town, the topmost floors, ni za agencies za recruitment za kwenda ngambo. And you can't ask them because they are enriching some people who are powerful in government.
All right.
So will deal with that.
And how are you going to deal with especially the security of Kenyans? You know, these are some of the things that people are asking. You know, security, mambo ya security ya Wakenya.
So, ndio tumesema one of the agendas of Safina party is to make sure that the OCPDs are replaced by sheriffs. That a sheriff is going to be elected by the people within that region. And a sheriff should not necessarily be a trained police. It can only be a civilian. So that when there is a security issue in any area, the sheriff in that area is answerable to the people to make sure that they provide all the answers and they solve the problem of insecurity within the country.
Yeah.
Right now we have rogue police because they have been put in there by their uncles in the big offices, and that's why we have a problem of security within this country.
Okay, there's one question for him. Joachim, why should we go abroad to build people's country who is going to be left behind to build Kenya?
Huyu brother anaitwa Good Year 222. If you've been very keen, brother Good Year, you know that I am vehemently against Kenyans going abroad to build other people's countries. We are talking about putting measures in place where Kenyans can work and thrive here in their own country, except very rare instances where out of very high skill, you are needed to go outside there to provide services because of your expertise. But as a Fina government, we are going to make Kenya a country where Kenyans are proud to be and they are proud to work here. There will be no case where our people, our ladies, our young people go to the Gulf to be slaves in the 21st century.
Okay, thank you very much. And SG, this is out of the politics because I know you usually in I consider it one of the very good podcasts that you usually do with one of our good friends. And maybe just to give us the overview, what is the main goal of your podcast? Because right now I see you're doing town hall. What is the main goal for that podcast?
Our main goal is voter education.
Yeah.
You see, we have people in this country who thought that William Ruto is the solution to their problem. And some of these people are now seeing William Ruto as a problem.
Yeah.
And those same people are seeing Gachagua as a solution to their problem. and these other people, you see, if you have such kind of people, you need to educate them to understand what really is the problem. We have instances where a problem is standing in front of you, but you don't recognize it because you have not been educated to know what really is your problem.
Yeah.
Our problem, our podcast aims at making Kenyans understand that tribe is not a problem, that your level of education is not your problem. Your problem starts and falls on leadership. That you cannot make a good deal with bad people.
So when you talk, you look at that in entirety, and we look at even our political parties. We've seen quite the figures, the personalities that have been in politics for so long. Are they still the personalities who are still controlling our political waters? Do you see ourselves making any changes anytime soon in the near future?
If Kenyans decide, they can make changes. But if they will go around running to pick these handouts that are being provided around in the name of empowerment, then they should forget about making changes. Change will come out of self-sacrifice and out of deliberate action.
Yeah.
You cannot wait for change when you yourself is not doing anything to make sure that change comes. It will come to a point where Kenyans need to sit down and know where the problem is and solve it.
Okay. Yes. And I would want to request our viewers to follow you on your podcast. You said you're having a town hall. When is the town hall again?
The town hall will be on 28th.
Yeah.
28th this month at Ufungamano House. We are going to talk about how come we are to role of government. We are going to talk about odious debt. We are going to talk about a lot of things, governance of the country, who is best suited to take over as president, and so many other things. And you can see as we speak right now, and we should look for time to speak this issue of our government is going to pay billions for COVID-19 vaccine that was not delivered in the country. So we are going to, Kenyans are, naona Good Year anasema, where can we listen to the podcast? The podcast will be on Political Headache on YouTube. and that is where you will stream it live and watch it, Dr. Goody 222.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother, for your time. And once again, I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who was in this podcast and your comments. And SG, we really, really appreciate you each and every time we have something to discuss. We will always give you a call. And I know you will always also provide us with the time. For now, I will release you and I will talk to you. Thank you so much, SG.
Asante ndugu yangu.
Okay, we tutaongea na asante sana, Mungu akubariki. I'll be reaching out to you on more issues.
Asante ndugu yangu, I'll be waiting.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you so much, everyone. That was SG for Safina Party, which is headed by Honorable Jimmy Wanjige and Jimmy Wanjige, and also the deputy party leader is Senior Counsel Willis. I think at one point we had Willis here with us and we spoke of so many things. Makobura, how are you doing, sir?
Okay, good evening. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following the conversation.
Yeah.
Where a good friend, can call him a comrade.
Yeah.
He's been here with us, giving us a view of what they are planning for the people of Kenya, which is their view anyway.
Yeah. Another thing, also you can get into contact with them. So you can be a panelist in the town hall. You know that. And you can go and represent the youths in the town hall meeting, especially not even the one that is going to happen at Fungamano, but you can also join. They usually have quite a number of activities going on, so you can always join them.
Yeah, if I get time, I will always find time, and mi mwenyewe niko na a lot of questions that nikipata nafasi naweza tamani wanijibu as a Kenyan youth who is part of the growth of the running of the Republic of Kenya. If I get time, of course, I'll I'll go and listen or maybe ask questions as a way of participating on matters of national importance.
Thank you so much, Makobura. Makobura, there was a fine that was done today by IBC. IBC did find two aspirants, that is Boyd Were and Philip Aroko or Kasipul Kabondo, of 1 million that they should pay within a period of 48 hours. And this one is as a result of what happened. They had some violence and some two people lost their lives. And it's coming like there being this 1 million. But this is something that has always been happening. Do you think it was the right move for the IBC to charge them that 1 million?
May still okay. First, we've always witnessed quite a number of things happening in the Republic of Kenya where lives of the people of Kenya have been lost, and more of it, the people who have lost their lives are young people, and this is a pain. Remember, every economy, every country that is developing, they do what we call depend on the young population. If we get to a point where young people are being eliminated because of people who have political interest, they're being killed out of political differences between politicians, then as a country we are not doing good, or we are not making we are not walking the right direction. And I want to say that it's been a norm in the Republic of Kenya that whenever politics or political interest or politicians have their political interest in vested on certain positions, then they will use the powers or the negative power to ensure, as a way of frustrating or doing away with those people that they feel are blocking them from achieving what they want. And to me, this is a wrong way of dealing with things. It's a wrong way of doing things, because look, if you are a politician or a leader looking for political position, that political position cannot be equated to a life of a Kenyan, or whether coming from rich or poor or whichever background. Life has to be respected, life has to be protected, and part of the responsibilities of these particular leaders are number one thing is, of course, protecting lives. And even if you read the Constitution, the one promulgated in 2010, it clarifies and talks about how life is one of the most important thing that should be guarded and defended by all means. Whenever we have politicians or political leaders, not respecting lives, so out of their activities, people are losing their lives, then we have, if truly we were following the Constitution, they would have been barred from running for that particular seat, because lives have been lost. Those are Kenyans who did not have, anything that is, they were not threat, or they were not doing anything negative that would warrant their death. And the move by the IEBC, not a bad one, but to me, I can say that they are taking it casually. IEBC has always acted or behaved like a toothless dog, because the powers that they've been given by the constitutions are not being implemented. They are not coming out to show that they respect the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya and that they follow strictly the guidelines that have been placed or put in order by the IEBC. I feel that they've not done much in matters of reducing violence, especially whenever elections are being held. They've not done much as a way of making the political class accountable for whatever is happening in their political environments. And if they come up and stand fast with the Constitution, then at some point the people of Kenya would know that we have an IEBC that is implementing and that is strictly following the laws of the land.
All right, thank you so much. I'm waiting for Mr. Joseph and Miguda so that they can also give us their view, especially Joseph. I saw him talking about Mbeere North and what is happening. Kasipul Kabondo, today we saw the party leader of ODM, that is Oburu Odinga, went for campaign, and all the brigades were there. We also saw intensive campaign again, still in Mbeere North, for both parties. Okay, sorry about that. So, Makobura, what do you say about Kasipul Kabondo?
The elections in Kasipul Kabondo, my view, so far, the battle is between two major candidates. That is Boyd Were, who is the son of the late member of parliament, and with a competitor who is also coming as an independent candidate by the name Philip Aroko. And it's not going to be an easy win for whichever candidate. But so far, upon my analysis and what is going on in that particular area, I can foresee a win. I can foresee ODM winning that particular seat. And this is the reason why I'm saying so. Remember, this is one of ODM's. This is one of ODM's stronghold, and being ODM stronghold, the effect of ODM, and of course, remember what has been playing out in ODM stronghold, and having in mind or putting in mind that Baba also left the other day, having endorsed this particular candidate of ODM, and the respect that that community still has for Raila Amolo Odinga would automatically make them to easily, vote for the ODM as a way of reminding that area or consoling themselves and respecting the fact that Baba lived and did well.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Makobura. Miguda, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm doing good. How about you? How about our viewers?
Yeah, we are doing good. We've spoken quite a lot with our guest, who is the SG for Safina. He was here. We invited him so that he can share with us the vision that Safina Party is having for the country. That is something that we will talk about, and also the overview of governance and all that. He gave us the best out of Safina, so even those who are listening could start to look at Safina differently. Remember, Safina has been in the hands of Paul Muite for almost 30 years. And being handed over to Honorable Jimmy Wanjige, that is a new leadership, and Willis Otieno and SG coming out as a Joachim. So I think it is a perfect time, especially for people to take a keen look, about Safina Party and what they're going to offer. So that is there. And also we had quite a number of issues that was in the public domain. The campaigns at Kasipul Kabondo, whereby Oburu, as the party leader, the first time he was campaigning for an ODM candidate, and all the brigade, including all the legislative from Nairobi, were available. I don't know whether SG was around. I'm not very sure. We will check the clips. If the SG was there, people like Babu Owino and some legislator from Nairobi, we will check the clip. So that is something. Also, Barren North is also under intense campaign from both the government and the opposition, and each and every person is trying their level best to win, because that one will signal what will happen in 2027, or this one will give what's the next move towards 2027. Biguda, what can you say?
Okay, thank you very much for invite, and also wish to say hi to our guest who has just left. At least he has opened our eye to understand more about Safina Party currently, because we used to know the one for Muite, but things have now changed from that party, and they have introduced new things. And also I was able to hear from him talking about the agenda, which some were a bit realistic and some are also paperwork. So I think it's good because they have incorporated him as SG. You know, he came from Bunge la Wananchi. He was poached direct from Bunge la Wananchi to be the SG of political party. That shows that there is inclusivity whereby people are given opportunity. People who understand, even the deputy party leader is coming from Nyanza, that is Willis Otieno, and the party leader is Jim Wanjigi. The issue of Kasipul Kabondo. Today, Oburu Odinga, the ODM party leader, Oburu Oginga, was at Kasipul Kabondo and campaigned for Boyd Were. Boyd Were is still not that strong in terms of the speech or in terms of communicating to the audience. He still need to be given a lot of mentorship. But all in all, the people are there to assist him. The party leader came, and he was very categorical on the issue of the young man that the people of Kasipul should elect an ODM member. You know, Oburu is the party leader, so he has a duty to campaign for the ODM candidate, and he has got no duty to campaign for that person. So whenever there's an ODM candidate, it's his duty as party leader to come and campaign for that candidate. You will talk about the legislatures from Nairobi. I was able to see two: BT Selachi, that is the Dagoretti North lawmaker, the Nairobi Member of Parliament, Esther Passaris. They also campaigned for Boyd Were, and they urged the people to campaign. You know, they were referring to the late Ongondo Were that for the sake of sympathy, and also they tried to revisit their initial friendship while they were in the Bunge, how Ongondo Were used to protect women. So Ongondo Were was forefront fighting for the rights of women. Those are the things that Boyd Were should ride on, the manifesto of the father, the late. Now, she should come out to, and also saw the party national chairperson, Gladys Wanga, insisting that they should elect Boyd Were. But all said and done, from the look of things, Boyd Were is a chance to win, but it's going to be a hotly contested because the opponent is also not a man to lose battles. He has battled it out with the father, remember, and they went head on. But right now, the ODM brigade are settled on Boyd Were, the young man. And you know, the Otete, Good Life Faroko, is very clear on the how he want to transform Kasipul, on how he want to bring the issue of issuance of bursary exclusivity, the issue of peace, and like the young man who is appealing to the sympathy card from the dad. So I think he's still young, and you know, he never prepared to be in politics. All in all, because the father was still serving, you know, the father was killed. So someone have just been approached from the KRA that resign, come and vie. So he got some challenges, but I think that's how politics work. It will cop up. It will be a story. Let me tell you an example. One person here, you know, the Suna East member of parliament, Junet Mohammed. Yeah. You know, Junet Mohammed, the first time when he was campaigning in Suna East, Junet Mohammed was not even speaking. He used to hire people to speak for him. But today, he's one of the strongest people who can speak in front of the people, the public. He was shy. He was even hiring a musician like Papa J to come to the rally. So Junet was not aggressive in terms of speaking to the public, but you know, in politics there are a lot of things you learn bit by bit, and because he's a young man, he has time to learn. He will be good. He will be coached very well. He will legislate. He will also speak to the public. And now next time he need to fight for himself. He doesn't need to come bring the whole brigade. Next time people will be busy in their constituency campaigning, so nobody will come to rescue him. So he need to be strong enough to face his opponents in the 2027 election, because he will be left alone with the constituents to fight for that battle. So I think my prediction is still on. I am predicting that Were will be the next Kasipul lawmaker. We just pray for the young man, because you know, he's a young man. It's not good for me to oppose my fellow young man, because we need more young people in parliament. And when he goes to parliament, he should always advocate for the rights of the youths and also opportunity for the young people. Those are the things that should be put first agenda. And also, he should also consider women, because women sometimes they lack capacity in the house for people to represent them. The issue of Berenop, Brother Benson, I can just say, Berenop, I've been following for the last 3 days. It's hotly contested, whereby the battle line has been drawn, the die has been cast, and Kindiki is also. I saw Kindiki on the ground also trying to be serious that is going to prove Gachagua wrong. You know, Kindiki has come with the campaign of the previous campaign that when Gachagua was the deputy president, never constructed a school or even a loo or even a road. But with him, he's riding on the Ruto's cards to sell his candidate. With them, the UDA people, they have brought steamer, they have brought roads, they have brought schools, and right now they have even nominated Ruku to be the CS. So to them, they are working. But Gachagua is telling these people that this thing is not what you are hearing from Soprano. The reality is, it is William Ruto Soprano, Karinda. There's someone called Karinda. That's just in Barire. Karinda.
And Mudende. I don't know Mudende. Where is Joseph? Joseph should come here. Atuambie hizi vitu Mudende.
Joseph, you should share a link with Joseph. Joseph might be missing the link.
No, he has the link. I just shared the link with him. He has the link.
So he was saying it is those people versus the people of Mbere. So Gachagua has just positioned himself to be the people. Yes, positioned himself to be where the people are. So he's with the people. Now he's the person who is, and Gachagua is doing a very, very good things in terms of campaign. I saw him also sitting down in a shade with young men and also dancing with old people. Now he's making it look like he's part of them. He's there and he's even sleeping on the grass. They're making some stories in the grass, and also I saw Kindiki also tried to copy paste, because he went to a certain house, he was offered a tea, and he was taking tea carrying a little child. So he was like, if this thing can work for Gachagua, why can't I copy paste it? So I think Kasipul right now, we can say is going to be hotly contested, very tough. People are going to face it very tough, but Boyd will be declared victor. But in Mbere North, it's going to be a Dudai. Up to now, I don't have a prediction, but I think Gachagua Gachagua is going to give some people a run for their money.
All right, thank you so much. Makobura, are you still there? Okay, Makobura. So
yes, I'm here.
Okay, Miguda is saying that Boyd Were is going to win, and this is because of the popularity of the party, not him as a person, and the entire brigade of ODM is campaigning. Now, today there's something that happened, especially in State House. Remember Orengo during the meeting at the coast, how Orengo said that ODM does not need Ruto needs ODM. But today he was receiving these ambulances, and the people were, saying that Orengo knows how to battle on the street, then akifinya baton hivi mambo inatendeka. Iyo ipo. Another thing also, the IEBC here is warning inadequate resource might compromise smoothness of 2027 general election. They're seeing there's no enough budget for them, inadequate resources. They do not have enough resources. How does this one translate? Knowing very well how our election is very competitive, especially presidential election.
Okay. First, I was almost finishing, and then I got something that made me had to attend to. The issue of Kasipul, just like Miguda said, my take is, I've done an analysis and I've said it, this ODM candidate will win. If it were not ODM, or if it were not, one thing I also have to say is that this other candidate, Philip Aroko, is a senior candidate. He's known. He's been in the field for quite a number of years, and he's loved. That is one thing I can say. He is loved by the people by his constituents. And
Makobura, can you share the link from Galendo, please?
Okay. Let me just do that in the comment section. Yeah, so I'm saying that they will give him a chance as a sign of, or as a way of remembering, honoring what we call the late Racheal Tabitha and the late Were. If it were not those, then Philip Aroko would have somehow gotten a chance to win. But currently, as things stands, he does not have. He'll not win. That is my take on what is going on in Kasipul. And then you've spoken about IEBC. coming out to say that they do not have the required amount or anything or such. IBC has always complained. IBC has always said they don't have money. IBC has money. I mean, has always complained that they have not, every time we are going for election, I've never heard of IBC complaining. They've been complaining, consistent. But one thing that worries me is that they've never done a free, fair, verifiable election since. So as much as they want much, they're looking for much. They keep on saying, this is a strategy that IEBC has always used as a way or as a scapegoat of coming out to say that whenever elections has not gone rightly as the people want, they've always come out to say, oh, either we were not fully given what we needed, or we were not having enough, we were not facilitated. And to me, this is a strategy, or it is a way of just showing the people that they are not people who can be trusted. Trusted in the sense that they do not fully have the capacity to control the infrastructure and the logistics at their disposal. And that is one of those things that worries the people of Kenya. They have a right to be financed, that is right. But the only worry that we have as a people is, why is it that before, whenever we are going for serious elections, then they start giving excuses. That is what can say. Miguda, you can give your take on what Brother Ben just asked before he left.
IBC, currently they are requesting that they are having inadequate resources to conduct the forthcoming election. They are raising it a bit late because when it was constituted, they had a proper time to analyze and understand actually what they are lacking. But IBC also has its own budget. It's being budgeted, the entire electoral process, whatever they want. And they usually bring to the people their budget, or to the government what they need, what kind of machines they need, the printings, so on and so forth. Now, they have always been funded fully, and even in terms of procurement or procuring the electronic gadgets like the KIM system, they have always been adequate when the times of election comes in number, and even in terms of their staffs, in terms of being payment. So I don't know why they should worry, because it is a critical part of the democratic process of a nation, is integral to form the governance structure. So they will be funded even if they say they have inadequate. If they can't move without those resources, then we are at a stake. So I think they will be funded. And just issue of why do we fund them and the Kenyan people don't have faith in IBC? They should persuade us that by funding them with our taxpayers' money, they are going to give Kenyans verifiable, credible, transparent results that is satisfactory to the electorates. But this is never whereby people are dissatisfied, even with the constitution of that commission. People are dissatisfied with the process and also with the procurement. So as a Kenyan people, as a Kenyan concerned citizens, we understand that there's no way they will be inadequately funded. They will be adequately funded because it is the integral part of the democracy of this country. And to that extent, We just need surety as Kenyan people. Let them not mess us that after we have done all the demands they have placed to us, then they are going to do for us what we call it's not look like election. It's like an exercise. We need a process whereby we understand it. We don't want a sham. Let them not give us sham elections. Let them give us real elections that we can be satisfied with our taxpayers' money and also with the process. Because if they try to mess, then things are going to go down. We don't want that one. Let them save that scenario whereby things are done in accordance to the rule of law and the popular will of the people is respected and given to the people. Let them not subvert the popular will of the people. They're just a commission. Let the people decide on who they want to be their president. I think the only pressing election is the presidential election, whereby people want real change. And also there are some circumstances they can compromise county's election, whereby you find that there are some governors with 55% across the country what happened in 2017. There were some governors who were having 55%. Like governors who were declared with 55%. Most of them were Jubilee governors. And that's why people like Sonko were having 55%. Then the question arises, how can 17 counties vote the same, that the governors have been declared 55%? So there was surely deals done there by the IBC. We don't need to go to those routes. And the same 2017 also, the presidential election was nullified, citing that the process was invalid. The process was null. The process was void because it was supposed to be a process from verification, from identification of the electorate, verification, a marking of the ballot papers, casting the ballot papers in the ballot box, counting, tallying, then sending, then finally declaring. So it need to be, the entire process should be consistent with the law, not that there's some process whereby it's not consistent. That's why it was nullified. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to invite our good friend Simba to also give us his take. I know he's been following and also commenting on the comment section. Maybe I'll give him a chance to generalize and give us his view on everything that we've spoken about. Simba, or I give you specific questions. Simba, are you there?
Habari yako bwana Mark Oburu, unanipata?
Nakusikiza vizuri. Karibu sana, utupee maoni yako.
Unanipata?
Yes, we can hear you. Proceed. Nakusikiza. Okay, I don't know why is not tupatani. Simba, are you there? Simba? Okay. Miguda, I think I'll come back to you. And Miguda, something else that I wanted you to give your take on is the issue of Winnie Odinga's political surge, where Winnie Odinga is starting, of course, a national debate after a fiery speech in Mombasa that drew both praise and, of course, backlash. She's challenging the legitimacy of Dr. Oburu Oginga's swearing in as an ODM party leader. Of course, this is fueling speculations about a generational shift within the party. And remember, we've witnessed her assertiveness is reshaping ODM's internal dynamics and possibly positioning her as a potential future leader. And that is part of what I wanted to ask you to just, you can give us your take on this particular issue. And then, not forgetting, you can also give us your take on the ODM succession, maybe a general view of what ODM is facing. We are seeing them facing an internal structures as members petition for urgent reforms and questions Oburu's leadership. Mr. Miguda, we are also seeing Ida Odinga is reportedly playing a behind the scene role in reshaping ODM succession, adding another layer, of course, of intrigue. Miguda, I think Miguda has dropped, and I'll just want to just give a general view on what I think is back. Miguda, are you there? Miguda? I think he's having a problem with his internet. And I would want to give my view on what Winnie Odinga is. Miguda, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you get my question?
I never got your question. I was dropped.
Okay, I'm saying that Winnie Odinga's political surge. Winnie Odinga is starting a national debate after a fiery speech in Mombasa that drew both praise and backlash. And she's challenging the legitimacy of Dr. Oburu Oginga swearing in as the ODM party leader. Of course, this is fueling speculation about a generational shift within the party. Her assertiveness is reshaping ODM's internal dynamics and positioning her as a potential future leader. And that is what I'm asking you. That what is your view on Winnie Odinga's speech? And again, something else that you can give us your view on is the ODM succession crisis, one that we've always seen each and every day, people coming out giving their version and what they think. ODM is facing internal fractures, of course, as members petition for the urgent reforms and question Oburu Oginga's leadership. We're also seeing a situation where Ida Odinga is reportedly playing a behind-the-scene role in reshaping the party's succession, adding another layer of intrigue. So you can give us a general view on the two before we get to the next.
Okay, for now, I believe even you know that Win is the next leader in that lineage. Is the heiress to the throne. There's no one. Look at Junior. Junior is not there. Rosemary, Winnie. So right now we can just say Oburu is holding in brief for rightful person. And not that Winnie is challenging the uncle. It's the people who surround Winnie who are pushing, but still early. Like, you felt, what I'm saying by Winnie being the next in line. You felt what so-called Juogi descending to that lady. So I think up now, she's the next in line. And if there is any person, she will just, he or she will come and step. You know, the are generation that will end up with Raila. So those are the people who are trying to protect Oburu because that is their leader. That's now according to the community, not the Kenyan politics. I can just assure you that the younger generation are going to blend with Winnie going forward because of her age, her experience, also her skills. She has been that school from her childhood to date, and also the capacity. She got the capacity in terms of leadership, in terms of direction, in terms of persuasion. And I believe that in terms of, you know, me, what I'm feeling or what I can attest to is that it's like there is something in Winnie that is unique from other children. So she's in line. She just needs to do some little bit of, I think she will be guided by other elder people. You have asked me the issue of Oburu. You know Oburu, I don't know why people are fighting Oburu because even look at Oburu's age. Why do you need to fight Oburu? Oburu is just holding for a short time and Oburu will just exit the stage. But you have had people, I also listen to local radios. In local radios, there are people who are saying now they are going to protect Oburu by all means, including they're going to cane people who are opposed to Oburu. But that's not democracy. But anyway, that's how you have had that. You are MP Obura, you are MP Adom Obur, and Ochila Yako was saying they will protect Oburu to sit. And they were also saying that there is no way, according to the customs of the Luo, that a leader has been installed. Then you are coming from nowhere as a young person. You want to take that seat. Then you are also sending warnings that, okay, I'm also having ambitions to be your leader. That is not in accordance. That's what we call taboo. That's a taboo in the community. You know, there is what we call community leader here, and this is what we call party leader, national leader. So you need to distinct everything. What is going to happen to Winnie, the so-called Juogi? Juogi will descend on that young lady you are seeing. Let me tell you, people want you to show them Juogi. Juogi is not that you will see it. It's something that you will hear people speaking. You'll hear people talking like in Matatu. You know me, when I was interacting with some people, I was with a certain lawyer and they're telling me, Winnie. That's now our list. When people talk about you in marketplaces, at Matatu, also when you're just walking by the roadside, Bunge la Wananchi, halls where people are watching football. So when people talk about you, then you just get that power. I think the pressing issue in ODM right now, not even the issue of Oburu Odinga, because even if you remove Oburu Odinga, who has expressed interest to be the party leader, only Babu Owino expressed himself. But remember, right now, even if the delegates convene, can they elect Babu Owino? I don't think so. So I think right now, the people can just challenge the process whereby they ought to have allowed the NDC to confirm the party leader. But as things stand right now, he is the party leader, and there's no beef between him and the daughter. They're just expressing their views. You understand the democratic part of the ODM. You have that democratic power to express your views without fear or intimidation by anybody. You have free right to also hide for anybody. So anybody, so they're free to disagree as a people with that party, because no one is compelled that you don't need to have your view. You understand? So I think that is my point between. I don't think there's a difference. What I can just attest to you that, to me, I know what is going on in the succession of the late king, and according to me, I have a feeling that the heiress is Winnie Odinga. That one, I have no doubt about it. But back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I can see allow me to welcome a good friend, Eric Kayaga. Habari ya masiku, welcome, karibu sana. Na nawe pia unaweza tupea maoni yako. You can give us your take on what you think about Winnie Odinga's political surge, where Winnie Odinga is starting a national debate after a fiery speech in Mombasa that drew both praise and backlash. And she's challenging the legitimacy of Dr. Oburu Oginga's swearing in as the ODM party leader, fueling speculation about a generational shift within the party. And her assertiveness is, of course, reshaping ODM's internal dynamics and positioning her as a potential future leader. Eric, as an ODM member and as somebody who understands how ODM operates, you can give us your take on that. And again, not forgetting the ODM succession crisis, where ODM is facing internal fractures as members petition for urgent reforms and question Oburu Oginga's leadership. On the other hand, we're also seeing Ida Odinga is reportedly playing a behind-the-scene role in reshaping party's political succession, adding another layer of, intrigue. Let me put it so. Eric, what is your take? What is happening with your party, brother Eric? Pema maoni yako.
Okay, you can get me clearly, or I have
Yes, you can hear you.
hear me?
Proceed. Yeah, proceed.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Let me give my hot side. I am of the school of thought that are opposed to Oburu Oginga as party leader, and I don't want that.
Ayaga, check your mic.
Okay, brother Benson, you can go first then as we wait for Eric to fix.
Right. There's so many opinions that have been shared, and especially concerning about what Ruth spoke about. I mean, not Ruth, but Winnie spoke about in Mombasa. And there are people who look at it in different angle. There are those who feel like the agreement between especially between the president of the broad-based was an agreement between two core principles, and the two core principles were the Right Honorable Prime Minister and President William Ruto. But right now, as we speak, one of the core principles is not around. So it means if it happens, it needs a review. Yeah, because this was an agreement between the two, and one of them is missing. So people have that kind of thought. And people tend to think, or those who argue tend to argue, they tend to argue and say that that is something that is worth looking at, not that they are opposing, and that's why they were saying Winnie was raising the legitimacy that is only Raila who knew what was managed. I mean, like the relationship, he knew how to manage it. Then the rest of the people the leaders that are right now, who are being even given the mandate right now, the new leaders, they still don't understand. Because remember, when this 10-point agenda was coming out, something that you usually don't know, that before they are brought into the public, somebody have discussed them somewhere, then they brought. them, you know. Remember when before Baba had the interview that he had last with the NTV, he talked about conclave. And when the resolution were being read, remember that conclave also appeared in that resolution. So that's why people feel like, okay, we should go, or they should go and review the agreement, you know. So that brings that friction, because people believe that one of the guarantor was the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. So that one could be one of the reasons why people are saying that, okay, let's go and review it, and the leadership. Another thing is now coming about the process, the due process. I heard Miguda talking about when the elder is installed, then you cannot install the elder. There are two things that Miguda now you have to understand. There's a party that is formed under constitutionality or constitutionalism that believes on the due process, yeah, and open that place for democracy to thrive. Nobody, I think, like nobody, even like from the petition that has been served to the election board of ODM, they're not questioning the Oburu personality. No, that is not what they're questioning. They are questioning the due process. Was the due process followed, especially when it comes to the appointments as per the party constitution? That's why in traditional way, especially like even in Jaramogi's home, Raila was very powerful when it comes to politics, especially of the country, and Oburu, his brother, respected that and respected him as a party leader. But now when you come to the Kangoka Jaramogi, Oginga Odinga's home, yeah, when now you come to Oginga Odinga's home, where Oburu is the eldest, Raila will obey and will follow what the eldest as a spokesperson of the family. So there's a family and there's a party that is formed under constitution. So they are not questioning, I don't think they're questioning the personality of Oburu Odinga, but they're questioning the due process. Was the due process followed? Because you never know. I tell you, Kenya is one of those countries. Kenya is one of those countries that everything will be challenged in court. And the court will make a pronouncement. So you have to be proactive and seal those loopholes. And the people who might be going to court might not be necessarily the people of ODM, but one outsider can work with the insider to create that destabilization of the party through those loopholes. To me, that's what I think. Makubura Yaga is back.
Okay, thank you so much. Eric, kindly confirm if you are fully back. Eric?
I'm back. You can hear me?
Okay. Yes, kindly proceed.
Okay, so sorry for that abrupt so what is so what I'm saying, I'm in the school of I'm for Guru, and I don't have something to regret about, because number one, you must have look the partiality of Guru Ogenga when it comes to the road. I think Raila was a little bit was lenient on all these issues, because he always consider both sides, the pushing and the defending. So, but Oburu have always been one side, his approach to all this, the arrangement. And that's why even people like Winnie are questioning is character. Yeah. So I think that is number one thing, that partiality. When you become a party leader and you want to hold the party together, you must be very partial to hear both sides. That's why you could see Sifuna at night go to a station TV, make some remarks that will not sit well with other party members who are in so-called the broad-based. But the following day, you see him with Raila in the same plane. And Raila is telling people Sifuna is now the party spokesman. And whatever he says is the position of the party. I don't think Oburu will do that. And is not capable of doing that. With that fear is what people like Winnie are seeing mentality might destroy ODM attack. Number two, the age do not favor Oburu. Age do not favor Oburu. Oburu is a little bit old. I think ODM could have formed what we call a council of advisors, ODM council, where Oburu could be the chairman of that council, advisory council, and they are advising people around the matters of ODM party. So I think giving him a party leader is not wise to me and to many ODM members. That's number two. Number three, Oburu is not like Raila Odinga. He can't command people. He can't order things to happen. So the people who actually want Oburu are the people who have been MP for 10, 20 years. People like Adoma. I have this statement. Adoma cannot tell us he will do things to do. He has been MP for 15 years. He has done nothing. These are the people who have just, in fact, he's not even staying in Yaka. He's staying in Sen. So, coming to tell us, these are just going to protect somebody who will hold their hand and say, this is our party and this party belongs to us. And once you are given party certificate, you are good to go. I think those are the things that the younger people are fighting within the ODM. And I think with the time, the younger people will take over, because if you call a NDC they will go, younger people will. Marco Buru.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric, for giving us your take. And I think we need to get time and have a discussion about ODM and what is happening. Miguda, maybe before Miguda, I'll come to you. You can give us your take on Wetangula is been giving some comments against the judiciary. So I want you to just give us your view, where the National Assembly Speaker Wetangula, not once he has ever criticized the overuse of court injunctions and in quotes the reckless tweets for derailing national projects. Is calling for a new roundtable between Parliament, the private sector, and the judiciary to streamline governance. And what does that tell you, Mr. Miguda, in the field of governance? And then after that, you can give us your view on what is also happening in the UDA, the internal realignment, where President William Ruto's UDA party is quietly recalibrating ahead of 2027. There is growing tension between the technocrats and the grassroots mobilizers, especially around economic messaging and delivery, where we've been seeing them having different views on certain matters. We've also seen Rift Valley MPs are pushing for more visible development as a way of, reminding the people of what they've done as they seek for their second term. Mr. Miguda, you'll give us your take on that. And then you can also give us your take on the Mount Kenya block, the fragmentation or the consolidation. The Mount Kenya region is seeing renewable political maneuvering with leaders like Rigathi, Kiaru MP, Ndindi Nyoro vying for influence. There is talk of a new regional pact to counter perceived marginalization and assert the economic demand of the people of Mount Kenya. Mr. Miguda, you can give us your take on that, and then Eric will pick after you.
Makubura, will just request you allow Eric to contribute. You know, Eric has been missing action. Give him time. You know, like I'm having a less time here. I will not conclude everything. So I just dedicate this time to Eric. Eric can just proceed.
Okay, thank you. Good. So, Siji, Megoda, which one should I start with? The issue of rectangular attacking the judiciary.
You can start with the rectangular, then you talk about the internal wrangles in UDA, then you conclude by Mount Kenya.
Okay. So let me say about rectangular. I think about rectangular attacking the judiciary. I have not come across that news, so I'm not that much familiar with it. But I think rectangular is on fire. The East House is on fire. The wave of that governor called that. Even the other day, I think they wanted to impeach him, but the elders refused. It has a complication with this deputy, so they can't allow the deputy to take over. So I think they were rectangular is just chasing the smoke that is burning this food. Kindly, can you give me?
Eric, you're not clear. I don't know whether you can hear me.
Yes. Okay, I can hear you. I mute a little.
Proceed.
So I think yeah. So I think rectangular has a problem and is really working hard to create national attention. They have lost direction, even including the government. So I think that one is a local issue. Attacking judiciary, that is an issue. We behave that way. We have been attacking judiciary since we made those the rulings even about the majority and minority leader. That did not sit well with judiciary. So kuna shida hapo. In issue of media, the messaging, economic messaging. I think there is a problem because there is too much lack. Number one, all the economic, the so-called mega economic something. I don't know how they call it. Mega. The bottom-up economic transformation, whatever. None is working. None is working. On them, none is working. Because if you come to church, it is not working for them. So they have to change. So I think the technocrats in the UDA must have a problem in the politicians. But you know, it is the politician that want to survive from the ground with the people. Yeah. So it will be very hard for them. So they have. It is just to go back to the factory setting, create new lies, because the lies we have been telling people is not working. Because I had a president saying, if you go to hospital, don't pay anything. Don't pay anything. And that thing is not working. So if they ask you for money, call the police. I'm seeing many doctors will be arrested because it is not working. And if Kenyans go that route, many hospitals will be closed because SHA is not working. I don't have much, unless you have another question. Because I'm not well conversant with the issues of UDA. For now, I'm just concentrating with my UDA party and we see yes, how we can salvage young party, bring it together, bring the views together. A good party is a party where people have different views. If you have a party like Communist Party in China, where there is only one view and one system of seeing things, or like CCM, then there must be a problem. Parties like even Democrats in the US, there is a senator there used to call somebody Sanders. He used to have a very different opinion with the Democrat. Yeah, but he was always a member. So having a different opinion in a party does not guarantee somebody to go out or form a party. Within the party, you can have liberals, you can have socio-economic, you can have liberals, you can have communist kind of mentality. So it is which idea that sells better within the party. Then you say this is the team to have. But I'm praying that let us our party remain together and continue grow between, so that different opinion or different in terms of different in ideology should not break the party. We should tolerate all those things inside and within the party. That is what is making party the party that is most about the Republic of Kenya. And when it comes, we behave like Israel. When there is an external attack, we come together, we form one force, we face the enemy. When the enemy is subdued, we continue with our difference. I think that is the route our party ODF should follow, at least for now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Eric, for giving us your take. And I think we just call it a day. I'll give you a chance, Mugura, to give your last remarks, and then Eric will give his last remarks.
Okay, my last thought, I just like to say that there is, in ODM, you find that the young people are pushing for pro-people party, but the old guards want to retain the status quo. That's why we have a difference. Therefore, we need there is an agency of an NDC to solve this matter once and for all. I'd like to appreciate our viewers for coming to the show. Laban Misiani, Goodia, Judith Carita, Brenda Bedi.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric. You can also give us your last remarks, and kindly find time. Tell us when you can get time. We have an interview. I want an interview with you, kindly.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me take the opportunity to also thank you for at least I stayed late and I'm a little bit in a noisy place. So thank you for bearing with me. That one I must appreciate. So I want just to say to reiterate what my brother has said. The younger generation cannot be ignored, because the more you ignore them, the more they become resistant. And when they become resistant, that is what will create a division or a generation fight within the past, where the younger people will forcefully try to manhandle the, the older or the veterans. I think it is on incumbent veterans to influence the younger generation in all decision making and mentor them in the right way. You know, when a child is chased away from home, they always say if a child is disowned by whom the streets become its home. And the way we maneuver in the streets is none of the business of the people who are remaining back at home. It might be even some afraid. So what I'm saying, the younger generation must be given the opportunity and must, because that's where the world is. If you push them, they resist. I think in New York, in USA, there was a million elections that are going on. And and there is a guy there, a Muindi Muslim, that is elected as a mayor of Washington, D.C., the first pure radical Muslim to be elected. And how did that happen? The whole did not see it coming. And they won with a landslide, beat, and he was very happy, that guy. So I think you ignore the youth, they come for it forcefully, and nothing you will do about it. But I think in a good society, youth are mentored. They are not shown the war, because number one, the war is the failure of human beings to sit down, have a discussion, and understand each other. So if the older generation in ODM or the veteran or the senior member are the one calling for war with the youth, I don't know. But I don't think it will end on their side having a win. It is them who should call for reconciliation. It is them who should call for calm. Sit these youth down and give them opportunity to have some peace of mind and listen to their problems. Failure to which ODM is a time bomb, it will explode in the near future. And that near future might be next year or March. And with my information, I know there are so many parties that have been registered, and that party could go to that party and they will bargain anywhere they want to bargain. And I think that one will be a disaster for our regions, ODM regions like Western, Nyanza, Kisii, Nairobi, and even in coastal region and Wajir and Turkana. It will be the worst thing that should happen to our party. Party should remain together. We are trying to be calm as youth, but if they call for the war, senior members party, then they will have that war. Either they will win or not win, the time will tell. But that is my take now. I'm happy to see my friend is calling me the Nairobian. I always, I always like to, to be with him and the rest of our viewers. And I also want to debunk of another thing here that youth are not registered. The voter registration is continuous. It's not something that is on a deadline, 2, 3, or 4 months. It is something that will take place from now up to 2027 to some few months when the voter registration will be closed. I think the youths are registering and the IBC should not be used to give in correct numbers to use them in the future as a voter suppression kind of mentality. We are not stupid. I've been in these places and been very busy. People are registering as voters and youths are going there in large numbers. Let us not accept the one-sided IBC that is managed to give us the correct number. They either say the truth or the truth will come on them by force and by fire. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everyone. May God bless. Next time, I think I will be free with by Saturday. Those times, I think I'm always free. If you can make it that time, Saturday. I'm early evening around around
On which day? On which day?
any day, even from tomorrow.
Okay.
I say
That's
any day
okay.
from tomorrow.
It's okay. I'll reach out and we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Allow me to acknowledge and say a big thank you to viewers. Good year. Thank you so much. Good year, Laban Misiani. Thank you so much for coming. Mabella, our good friend Joseph. Thank you so much for coming. And Judith, thank you so much for also coming. Brenda Obedi, thank you so much. And everyone, not forgetting Eric that you joined us. Thank you so much. Allow me to also acknowledge Austin Okumu, Grant, Eric Otunda, Tony Cruz, Philip Menasse. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us. This is Brother Benson Media, and over here we say that your opinion counts. If you are watching for the first time, kindly like and subscribe to the channel. If you do so, it is a way of supporting us, na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon. From wherever you're watching us from, thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.